Everyone seems to ask us like how we do what we do. We don't really know how to do what we do. Is Nat and I are very much like try not to be perfect. Try just start first and then perfect later.
People forget, like, we've been together 10 years, but we did all of that in 5 years.
Yeah.
Bought a house, had 3 kids, had our 4th child, which is Cassells Fitness. And Molly's standing with a wooden maraca.
But I said I'd never do it and I'm fucking crap. We've always said we want to go to see Vienna, but we probably would never have done it had it not been for Hyrox.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Coffee with the Cassells. This is our new podcast that we're bringing out, and it's basically just chatting through it. Everyone seems to ask us like how we do what we do, and if I'm honest with you, we don't really know how to do what we do. But we thought this would be a way to showcase kind of our life, how we kind of deal with things. We're also going to in the future bring on like kind of guests and stuff like that. This is obviously the first one. We'll chat through some certain aspects of life, Hyrox, business, home life, we'll focus on the kind of things and hopefully just give you a laugh like along the way. If I'm honest with you, it's not going to be in too serious. Like you'll get some takeaways from it, but it'll probably just be more of a laugh than anything else. And it's, to be honest with you, it's probably just another opportunity for Nat and I to actually have a conversation with each other because we don't really get that at him.
I know we don't. And for me, we've not properly sat down and talked about any of these areas apart from this time last week when we had our first ever podcast interview.
Yeah,
and then we actually had a chance to reflect and like actually answer some questions. And then after it, the two of us were like, God, we've not sat for quiet without our phones for that amount of time and just spoke about things that mattered to us. So that's why we think it's important to kind of make this time and then hopefully share it and maybe people will take something away.
And if you don't, at least we film it back to see. I mean, that time we spoke about that, we can document it. So it will be all things gym, Hyrox, business, painting, family, just everything that we're juggling and everything we've got on.
You're bullshitting there because you did say wiping arses at the start as well.
See what is it?
In conjunctivitis.
Before we jumped on, Nata did ask me, how do a normal couple, we're doing this on Valentine's Day, and she said, how does a normal couple spend Valentine's Day? For us, that's wiping arses, wiping noses, and we're doing podcasts. Yeah. So it's certainly different, but I think the one mainstay is we always have coffee.
Aye, always.
So, but so as I said, the idea of the podcast will be how we kind of juggle and manage life, and hopefully some other busy people out there, whether you're a parent or you're not a parent, will take some kind of value from it of like how we manage to deal with it and how we manage to cope, and hopefully at the side of that you take a wee point on the way where like life doesn't have to be this pressure all the time, and we do have fuck ups and we do make it work, and hopefully you guys too.
I'm hoping that this is a weekly thing that we can do, and it'll be a chance then for us to showcase that live emotion, I suppose. But from our point of view, we're on social media all the time. We're on Instagram a lot. But when you flick through our stories, and we say this all the time, when you flick through our stories and you add up the total time of our stories for that day, it's maybe like 3 minutes long. And then you think that you've got such an insight into someone's life when you see all the snippets all throughout the day, but you forget that there's a whole other 12 hours where we're awake, where there's so much going on that you just maybe can't keep up. So we thought, let's try and talk it all out and make a point of sitting talking about it, and then also plan it. And so what we wanted to do today was plan the podcast because we actually don't have much of a plan. So and I suppose that's the exciting part, and that's what makes us so successful in a lot of areas of our life, because if we sat on a lot of the ideas that we had, we would probably not do half the stuff that we're doing. Yeah. I
think that's the thing as well. Like I think probably one of the biggest takeaways you could probably take from this podcast, even just at the start of it, is Nat and I are very much like try not to be perfect. try to just start first and then perfect later. I think they're very big on that. Like, you'll notice in this podcast, like, Daniel's come in with all the fancy kit and that. We're actually just going to do it with our phones, because that's the kind of people we are. But you'll never come on here, and if you're watching this on YouTube, then like, just going to go on YouTube as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably see our hair's a fucking riot.
Nice.
Yes. Would you get a happening session? We'll probably get fucking bogies or our jumpers and that for the rains, like sick in our jumpers, bogies in our jumpers and that. So you'll never come on here and find a perfect time. I mean, that is kind of hitting that a wee bit there. But
Is that annoying?
so I think that's the thing in it. It's like, if you take in from this first podcast, even though there's no much structure in it to start with, if you take in from this first one, you just know that, you know, start now, perfect later, because we will like get into the swing of things, we will get the find our flow and stuff like that. But today's one in particular is probably just more about how it is, telling us why we're doing what we're doing, and kind of chatting through who we are if you don't know who we are. Because I think that's important. Like, some people as well, like, we've obviously got so many clients in here. You guys have probably listened to it that are probably our clients, but my mum is probably the only one that will probably listen to the first one. But if you don't know who we are, or even if you do know who we are, you might not fully know who we are. So, or our kind of stories and stuff like that. So, yeah, we can share that. So,
Well, you want to start then? What? Ask a question.
I need to ask a question. So I started if I start with you, so I started in the fitness industry 7 years ago, and went to college. I used to be a security guard. When I met Natalie, we actually met each other in Morrison's, Barrack Street. So that was fun. But I was security guard. Natalie worked in the admin side of things.
And I was training to be an opera singer.
Offices, yeah, you were training to be an opera singer at uni, which I thought was mad that you got to uni for that. But anyway, that's a different story. I think it's mad going to uni to sing. But yeah, so
It was a music degree.
I know, but it's just don't hear that say that. You just hear that people are good at singing, they just go on and sing, you know. Aye. So we knew each other through Morrison's. And then I was in the fortunate position where Natalie was, even though your singing degree and stuff like that, you were very big on sport. You were obviously helping out in the active schools at the time, volunteering and stuff like that. So you kind of put the push on me to go and do something that I wanted to do. I'd always spoke about wanting to be a PT and stuff like that, but always put it in the back foot. I think even when I first met you, my goal at the time was actually to go down the security path and be a supervisor, and then in turn potentially like own my own security business. And then Natalie flipped the switch and went, "Nah, I feel like you're too good for that. You don't want to do that. Your passion's in something else." So went to college, got my HNC, HND for 2 years, took a massive hit there, but I started working part time, and then from there became a PT and just dotted about gyms in it. And then we've ended up getting the first gym and then the second gym.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I had realised very quickly, maybe into like year 2, year 3 of my music degree, that music was something I did not want to do. I didn't want to be a failed opera singer, and I didn't want to go into teaching.
I think it was that. I don't think it was a failed opera singer. I think it held you back, honestly. I think you were a very, very good singer, like, and you could have went to high places, but I think the biggest thing that put you off, if we go back to it, was like the whole kids thing. It was going to delay our life.
Yeah, I think I would be on it. But to be fair, at the time, imposter syndrome as a soprano opera singer, you're gonna be up with a lot of competition. I suppose at the time, I just genuinely thought that I just wasn't good enough to be better than everybody else in the soprano world, and I don't think I had the drive. I don't think I had the love for singing the way that other people maybe did and showed. I didn't practice. I didn't practice enough. I didn't commit myself enough. Like, I did really, really well, but only because naturally I was talented. But I think at the same time, I just didn't have that like drive to want to do well in it. I suppose that was a big learning for me. And also then we would sit down and we'd say, like, we want to get married, we want to have children, and for me to kind of really push at that dream, I would have had to probably go down to London and train in London, and we would have had to uproot and move down there, and all the uncertainty, I suppose, that was really quite
Yeah, I think when we spoke about it before, it was like those talks of London and Germany, so it would essentially not put a life on hold, but the family life, I definitely would have probably been held back by about 5 years.
massively. The security was really attractive, the idea of, you know, buying a house and having kids and like doing that, almost what society was pushing us to do. Like, and that's the reality. That's what my dream always was to have all that, have that kind of family life set up. So that's what we did, and we've done it. We've done it really quickly, and we've, you know, really excelled in that home area of life.
Yeah.
You know, we've I think people don't realise that as well. Like, we lived with your mum and dad for 2 years. We were newlyweds for our first year, and we lived with your mum and dad, and we worked, and but it's
The cats. It's my dad absolutely hated. But aye. That was
but yeah, so we did that for 2 years with Saint.
cats as well, by the way. they wouldn't even allowed to do this.
Mum and dad had
There's
just done up the
Cleaning
house as
curtains.
well.
I know, you just done up the house.
It was not
Sofa
good.
was everywhere and aye.
Oh no, it was wild. But then we did that because we had to save for a house. Like, that was, we had to give up our kind of flat and suck it up and do that. And but then we all compromised, your mum and dad as well, I suppose, living with us and the cats. So forget those. And then so we did that, and then we bought the house, and then very quickly fell pregnant with Harper. So like, I think that time of our lives wasn't easy as well. Falling pregnant wasn't easy, but
It was
like
COVID.
it was and then COVID hit, and like, people forget, like, we've been together 10 years, but we did all of that in 5 years.
Yeah.
Bought the house, had 3 kids,
Top man.
and then had our 4th child, which is Cassells Fitness.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of an insight into
That kind of sums up
how we started.
How we started.
Yeah.
Isn't that? So,
Well, yeah.
but just touching off that as well, like, one of the things we wanted to say was, so family life, obviously we're massive on family, and we want to speak about, like, we had this idea, probably the only idea we've had for the podcast, to be fair, but we had this idea that we're going to say, like, one funny thing the kids have done this week, or one challenge the kids have done this week. So I mean, not for the actual hunters, to be fair, but what's your one?
Well, this morning, for example, I'm sorting out Callan, and I literally hear like the loudest like sound of wood hitting a human being. I can't laugh at that.
Surprises who was doing that.
And I walked into the nursery, and I was sitting in the corner like a scared animal. And Molly's standing with a wooden maraca.
But is it not? Molly's a middle child, and you can tell she's a middle child. Like, she is a different breed altogether. But you've got to love her for it. Like, she is a completely new character, and
I mean, she's a naughty little shit, but she's
she's just,
she's funny.
you can't even be that upset or angry with her because she's just hilarious with it, isn't she?
But yeah, that is, I shouldn't laugh at that, but just the sound. And then when I walked in, and Harper's like cowering in the corner.
She
I
definitely, she runs it. She
mean-
definitely Molly rules the house.
I think from my point of view, I just don't know how to parent her. Like, I don't know what to say, because I walked in and I'm like, well, I didn't see it happening, so I don't want to tell her off, but I heard something. Harper looks petrified. Molly's standing there like with a maraca. Like, do you know that way? I think from my point of view, I just don't know how to parent this whole situation, because I don't want to tell Molly off because I never saw her. I also like don't want Harper to think that I'm not backing her up, and then also I don't want Molly to do it again because it's not good. Like,
And she will do it again if you laugh.
and she'll but it's that, I suppose for me that's funny, but also how the hell do you navigate that? Like, no idea. But that was my funny thing. Well,
Like, this is the thing, so that, like, if we do this, like, all the time, it's probably going to be the Molly stories.
Oh, it's
like
like gonna be
because
Molly.
Molly
Okay.
is just the hilarious, like the most hilarious little character you ever meet. Like I would say even like to the day we were taking the girls to nursery the day, and just out of nowhere she started talking about this duck toy, didn't she? So she found this wee duck toy in the house that I don't even know where she's found it for. I don't know where it came from, right? But there's like a wee duck toy in this house, and she took it because you always have to have a toy to take to nursery with them, but they leave in the car. So she started like hitting the roof because she lost it somewhere, even though I had it. Like I knew where it was, so I gave her it, and then just all of a sudden, it's the most ridiculous duck sound you've ever heard in your life. Like imagine Donald Duck on like 40 fags a day. It's like, but so for me, that's probably my funniest take playing. And I think that's the thing, like, see, family is the most stressful thing ever, especially when you're trying to run a business and stuff like that. Like, and like, I think we spoke to a few people about it today. Like, any parent out there will know that struggle, right? So, see, when you go to do like a video or you go to do a WhatsApp, like voice note or whatever, the minute you pick up your phone and put it towards your mouth, the wains will start going mental.
Oh,
And
like insane.
and so
Like
when you're trying to
literally.
do business things, actually we've got Callan down there now. He's sleeping. He's probably the only brand new one at the three of them. To be fair, I think he's the only one that's actually rating it. But he's doing there now, and this is the only opportunity we get to do this because any other time, if we were doing this, Molly would be probably climbing that squat rack. Harper would be shouting she wants a snack because that's what she ever
She's always,
sees.
she's doing it at the moment.
Any
It's
parent out there will totally resonate with this. Like you just can't. The minute you start to say a voice note or whatever, it's just up in the air because the wains will just take care.
I love that though. See the amount of times that I've been sending a voice note to someone who's inquired about joining the gym, and in the background you can hear like the gargling noises of Callan, he's chatting away, or like you can hear the girls like fighting and screaming at each other, and then halfway through the voice note I'm like, I'm really sorry, I'm gonna just stop this here and I'll be 2 seconds, and then you have to go and break up a fight and then start voice noting again. I think a lot of the time clients that are inquiring are like, okay, it's a real human on the other side of that like message, and I think it's really important for us to showcase that, or like
It's real.
it's like the reality of our life.
As I said with this podcast, it's like it's never going to be like if we were waiting for the perfect time for this, we would probably miss out in like 10 years of doing a podcast because we're going to be waiting for that perfect time. And I think that's like an important like life lesson for anybody. Like if you're looking for the perfect time to start something, you can be massively setting yourself back like years waiting for it. Like if we were to do that, if you take in, for example, Hyrox, our goals and aspirations for like Hyrox, the business, etc. If you're waiting for that perfect time, you're talking Callan's what, 6 months old? 7? 7 months?
He's 8 months old today.
Oh, right, okay. He's 8 months old today. happy 8 months old birthday, Phil. He just shook your bike, right? So he's 8 months old. So you've got 10 years.
Can't believe you just did that.
What? We did this 6, 7, 8. This is the Mueller PT. I tell people all the time I've been PT for 6 years, 7 years, probably 10 years in PT. It must be. Well, there you go then. It's like exaggeration, that. So all guys do it. And so if you look at that, like if we were to wait for that perfect time to do anything, whether that be business, whether that be Hyrox, whether that be podcast or whatever, you're talking at least another 10 years before you can even scratch the surface of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's face it, we're 32, we're getting a wee bit.
We're getting on now.
So
Feels like it in our bodies.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's home life, innit? And then that's the kind of vision we've got for this podcast. As you can tell, it's going to be a bit of a riot.
Candid
Yeah.
is the word.
Mm.
Candid with the Cassells. Maybe that's a new name. We need to
Yeah, if
Coffee with the Cassells is
Yeah.
good. Maybe Candid.
I'll be honest with you, Coffee with the Cassells came about 5 minutes ago because I was boiling the kettle for a coffee and I just thought, right, it's like for like. So if anybody has a decent name, that could be the first episode. Find the name. And then that way, if you are watching this, I don't even know how these things work, but if you're on YouTube or whatever, comment
Or listening.
or listening, send us a message, a belt or a name, and you can win a free protein bar. 16 cent of it. So good names.
Aye.
Yes.
That's it, really. I think moving into like Hyrox for us, because not only do we run the business, but we've also got goals for ourselves when it comes to Hyrox. And for anybody who doesn't know what Hyrox is, what is Hyrox?
Something to avoid.
No.
Because I said I'd never do it and now I'm fucking trapped.
I know, this is the thing. So I remember the first time I ever heard about Hyrox. So we used to go on our walk and talks every day with a pram with one child and the dog. And now it's a lot more like accessories onto the pram. But we used to do a walk and talk every day, talking business and like planning and strategy. But I think that's the first time you had ever mentioned Hyrox to me. And I was like, what is this Hyrox thing? And you were like, oh, it's a 1K run and all this kind of stuff. And like, see what the gym's based on. It's loosely based around some of the exercises at Hyrox. And I was like, all right, okay. And then we went for coffee one day and there was the owner of the coffee shop who were talking to her, and she's we were chatting about business, and she said, oh, what do you do? And we were like, oh, we own a gym, a functional fitness gym. And then she said, oh, I do Hyrox. And she looked at me and I went, oh, amazing. And I just pretended like I knew what she was talking about. I had no idea. And then you went, oh, great, what time did you get? And the two of you started talking about times, and I was like, what the hell is this thing that they're talking about? I better go and research it because I'm a gym owner and I have no idea what Hyrox is. And then quite quickly after that, it started to really boom, didn't it? Like it was everywhere. But you've always said to me since I met you, you were like, I want to be an athlete. I want to be a sponsored athlete in some sort of activity, in a sport, you know, maybe weightlifting or boxing or something. You just wanted to be an athlete. You wanted to train and have some sort of performance goal. And then all of a sudden you started to do all of the kind of Hyrox stations. And as you...
everything else.
No, you tried boxing, you tried weightlifting, you tried... I remember. But like your times on the stations, when we compared them to the times on the website, they were really, really good. So we were like, okay, this is quite interesting.
Yeah, we just run inside, isn't it?
Just the runnings. Mr. wanted to run, but jumped on a bike.
Yeah, my first Hyrox experience is very, very challenging. People probably know about it.
There's probably videos out there of you going, you don't need to run for Hyrox. How wrong were you?
I used to say, so we've got a C2 bike, and I used to say that would be enough. So I used to, when I was training for my first ever Hyrox over a year ago, I used to jump the bike for 20 minutes between group sessions and say that was equivalent of what I had to do for Hyrox for them. So yeah.
You used to be like, you don't need to do this kind of training, you just go and do your training and that's it.
Yeah, if you're asking what Hyrox is, be very aware that you're going to be humbled.
Yeah, so that's the best sentence.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. And then, what was our first one? Was Manchester, the year ago.
Manchester, that was an experience. And then it was Glasgow.
We can talk about it. We can put that into the podcast plan. We can have a wee chat about what Manchester, the story of Manchester. That was quite a big moment in time, I think. But from then, like, we're obviously a Hyrox affiliated gym because, like, you've seriously found a passion for it. Yeah. Like, and I, from my perspective, like, as a wife watching your partner like do something he really loves, like, that's exciting for us. I love talking about Hyrox. I love talking about the strategy for you. I love talking about nutrition. I love talking about...
It's also travel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a perfect, not excuse, that's probably a bad term to use it, but it's a perfect reason to go
opportunity.
Visit like cities that you didn't know. We've always said we want to go and see Vienna. I don't know why. I don't know how it even came about, but we've always said we want to go and see Vienna, but we probably would never have done it had it not been for Hyrox.
Yeah.
But that gave us a reason and a push to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's nice to spend that time and travel and stuff like that. And we've always said that we'll always do it together.
I mean, and regardless, if we can't get childcare, the kids are coming with us.
The kids come, yeah.
The kids are coming with us. We're making a way, like making it happen for them. And then I think that's the beauty of it. It's not like, and it's something we do together as well. Like I've got my, like, I've been doing doubles pro with Nicole for the past year, but my first one's coming up that I'm doing it myself, and I'm excited about that. But and I've got to do it pregnant twice. I feel that that's what's so amazing about it, is that everybody in the gym, in our gym, like, everybody can do it, and they have the belief behind. If they don't have the belief themselves, there's somebody standing beside them that believes in them to be able to do it, because it's like a half marathon or a full marathon. It's a big challenge, but you can do it, and that's what's so exciting.
If it's not a challenge, simple,
and it's just a total buzz. Like, and for me, watching you,
sorry.
enjoy it.
Natalie always says to me that the next time I do a Hyrox, she wants to see me looking as if I enjoy it, and I can fucking rest assure you, I did not enjoy it at all until the end.
Yeah, but it's the journey. Like, I think, yeah, okay, the actual event of a Hyrox is spectacular. Like, I would actually
go deep. I would actually go deeper than that and say that the whole buzz about Hyrox, right, is not about the actual event itself. I would say it's actually the purpose and the drive you have in training. Like, because anybody can go to the gym and there's a difference between exercising and training, and we all know that. But it's the buzz and the lead up to it. Like, how many of our guys in there are like, and it's that nervousness kicking in, like, oh, I'm going to be able to complete Glasgow and stuff like that. That's the buzz. That's the thing for me. It's like having that purposeful training side of it to build up and go, right, okay, and then on the day it's like almost showcasing the hard work you've put in. It's like, if you imagine, like, you've obviously got people in the fitness industry that do like photo shoots, etc. Hyrox is your photo shoot. Like, see it that way. It's like people that do these photo shoots and it's like, oh, I went from here to here and I look great and all that. Well, Hyrox is the exact same for like the performance side of things. It's like you put in so much hard work to then go and just showcase all that hard work and just celebrate it. And the best thing about it is all your family are in about you.
No, it's amazing.
It's like, it's one of the ones. It's like, here's all the work I've put in. Here's all the headaches I've gave you over 3-4 months about, I've been off on about to do this and I need to do this. I need to go and run because of this. It's like that almost release of like, this is what I'm doing it for.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing, is that everybody gets so het up about the actual event, and then we forget that, like, see, during sessions, like the group sessions are incredible, aren't they? Like, for me, I love the buzz of training and the sessions together, and then seeing somebody being able to, you know, be consistent in their running, you know, for the first time, or seeing a check-in to say, oh, you know, that's the first time that I've been able to do all the burpees in the session, or, you know, and
I was like Nicola. So Nicola said to me yesterday, like, when I catch, she was like, that's the first kilometre run I've ever done. Ever. In her life.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That was amazing. That was the first ever time she'd done 1 kilometre. Right? I mean, and then before you know it, she'll be doing like 2 a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's the journey. It's absolutely enjoying the journey. And then when we arrive at Hyrox, like when you walk into the event, like you do feel incredible. Like you feel like you're proper looked after. Like the team's behind you at every station, they're shouting on you, they're giving you encouragement, you know. And then when you get to the wall balls, like, although wall balls are absolutely done in, like running over that into, what do they call it, the high society, that when you run into that, like that space, and the buzz when you finish it is just it's amazing. But the only thing that I will say is, like what I said yesterday, is that how many thoughts can you think during just a 1k run? Like the average 1k, say between like 5 and 6 minutes, right? 6 minutes, you literally go from like amount of thoughts in that time is insane. I mean, I was out running the 250s.
That's what you do in Glasgow.
What?
Next time I run it. That's how we'll come up with an idea to the podcast. We get 6 minute intervals.
Well, you've not. You've got 3:30s to run, so I don't know what you're thinking 6 minutes. If you now take the 6 minutes, well, you're not allowed that. And you need to count your laps. That's all we need out of that, please. Yeah. So there's a little insight into our Hyrox kind of mindset, and like, I think we want to cover that a bit more. We want to give a bit more value as well, and that space on how we manage our training, how we manage our nutrition, how we manage home life, how we manage the kids around our training for Hyrox as well. And so if anybody's got any questions, then definitely send them over, because then it'll help us beef it out a bit.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, innit? This is obviously the first one, so it's just getting to know us what the podcast is going to be about a wee bit. Hopefully there's been a couple of golden nuggets in there that you can take away. We've obviously gave a couple of wee snippets of like things you can take away, advice and stuff like that, but there are obviously going to be more as we go into it, because we'll dive deeper into different elements. It's not always going to be like the 3 topics. It may be diving into one on one episode and then diving into the next one. And then, as I said, we're going to look at try to like bring people in as well that can maybe spice it up a wee bit and give us a wee bit of newness to it, and maybe their experiences of being a parent, juggling life, etc., and fitness and stuff like that.
Yeah. We'll do the last bit then. So a bit about the business, about Cassells Fitness.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you. So what's been your biggest win this week in the business?
The biggest win? So for me, I always go off the back of like the feedback we get from clients. So I would say the biggest win for me, I wouldn't even say just for this week, I would say that obviously we're now at the February, and normally that's where the whole January, like new year, new me shit that comes about normally plummets. Whereas I feel like the guys are just on top of it now. Like I feel like the results that are coming in and the feedback people are getting, and then obviously just the driving force, that the motivation of the clients in there. I've never been, and I'm not just saying this because it's real gym, like I've never been in an environment where it gets to February and everybody's still so driven and so motivated. Like yes, some people have had the little wee ups and downs and stuff like that, I think they'll have, but having that vision in their head going, I still need to be here, like even in the hard times I'm still going to push through in that. I think that's probably been my biggest win, not just in the last week but like over the last couple of weeks. It's like people just seem to be, wherever they start to kind of dip down, and you normally see in the industry people start to dip a little bit. Even the guys that have maybe dipped are still being consistent and still getting the job done, and then they're starting to pivot again, they're starting to go up again. So I'd say that's my biggest one. Maybe you?
Yeah. I think from my point of view, it's seeing all the new, I love onboarding new clients. Like our existing clients are amazing, but the best part about our existing clients is the support that they give to new clients coming in. I think for that new year, new me, and like that, people do have that motivation. And for us, we've had, you know, a good few new clients come through the door through January. The best part about it is that, you know, 90% of those people that started with us in a trial over January have all moved into a membership. And the reason for that is, yes, okay, the product, like in terms of their coaching that they're getting, the training that they get in here, the actual and physical environment is inspiring, but the biggest thing that comes up is the encouragement that they get from the clients in the sessions. They never feel that they are not welcome. Like someone is going to take them under their wing and really support them in the sessions, and I love that. Like that's probably one of my biggest wins, because oh, the wee man's up. But I think that's one of my biggest wins, is that especially this time of year, where, as you say, motivation is starting to come down. It is cold, like even though the days are starting to get a bit more brighter, it's freezing cold. Like people,
Especially in here.
it's the middle, I know, it's the middle of February, so like people, I know, like people maybe have spent their money when they got paid, so it's the middle of the month, so it's always like kind of tough to find motivation, and yet these people that have joined us in January are all signing up.
Surrounded by consistency.
And there's
it's like environment, we always say environment dictates performance.
Performance, yeah.
Exactly, it's a showcase of that in here. Like people just seem to have that in them, that it's just keep showing up, just keep showing up, just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And then that breeds into like new clients, and then they keep doing it, and then before you know it, you get people in here that didn't know each other before they started, and they're now like lifelong pals.
I know. I actually saw something the other day that was like, the people that stand beside me in the gym who I've not known for a very long time support me more than maybe people that I've known in my life for a long time. And it is true, like there is that element of...
Also because you spend so much time.
Yeah, you spend so much time, and so they do really believe in you, and they do really, you know, want to see you succeed. And I love that.
That's how I always say, it's like the family you never knew you needed. because we say it in here all the time. A lot of people say it's like gyms are different, like different gyms use that, it's like we're family and that, but I genuinely believe in here with our family, because it is like the family, like even for Natalie and I, like some people in here are more family and blood for me. Like I genuinely believe that. Like I see them day in, day out. They support me day in, day out. I support them day in, day out. I know everything about their life, and we help each other through different aspects of life. Whereas there's some people that are my family, blood related, and I never see them. I never hear from them or anything like that. Whereas like in here, it's just.
And that's just family. That's just what happens with family. But I think for us, like this kind of group of people that suddenly all come together from different backgrounds and different lives and different goals, you know, we've all come together, and then suddenly we're all, you know, in 4 weeks' time, we've got 60 clients running out on that Hyrox floor in Glasgow, and along with them come their family, come their kids, come their
just the ones that on the competing.
I know that day. So all the clients obviously will have tickets for the full weekend, so they'll be coming spectating and supporting each other. It's a culmination of like everything that we are like building and growing here all the time, and it's just a showcase of kind of one of the biggest successes I think of our gym.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm buzzing about is painting that wall black. Just love giving things a wee refresh.
Just some time.
I know, it's weird. We've had that paint for months, and then I've just stopped breastfeeding. Literally this week's my first week not breastfeeding. So I've had a chance to get away from the house for a wee bit longer, and I needed
Wasn't
that.
a wee bit longer, 7 hours.
It was not 7
It
hours.
was 7 hours, not it.
I left at 2 o'clock.
7 hours. No, that was great. It was 7 hours. But anyway. Anyway. Yeah, so I would say that's what, we're wrapping that up there.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So first episode, hopefully you got a couple of nuggets and stuff like that. That gives an insight of what we want to do with it, where we're going to take it. Hopefully next time we've got a wee bit more structure.
Yeah, and also it would be great to get any of your comments and your feedback, and obviously we've got to say follow us on YouTube now, we've got to say follow the podcast, however.
Subscribe.
You've done this before. And if you have anything you want to add or ask questions, that would be great. Please share that with us. And finally, thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, and
if you've got this far. And we'll see you in the next one.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Sorted.
Cheers.